Hello, people of God. My name is Sonia Kachi. I teach Bible, subjects, and titles. But on today's title, What Will Befall Nigeria as Igbo Redemption Draws Near? My today's topic is derived from Isaiah chapter 19 prophecy. On Isaiah chapter 19, there is a king or president that was said that will rule that nation when all these events will unfold. So, like I said earlier, that's where I derive my today's lesson. It's a prophecy that has not happened. So, I just want to shine light on it on today's topic. So, my first reading today is from Exodus. Exodus chapter 9, I'll be reading from verse 1. It said, Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, and tell him, Thus said the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. So, this is what happened during Moses' era. Well, God said to Moses, he saw what has been happening to his people. He said, Moses, to go and give Pharaoh warning. Pharaoh, let my people go, that they may serve me. And we all know what happened. That Pharaoh was hardened. And the same thing is going on today. Let my people go. Today's Pharaoh is still the same thing, doing the same thing that ancient Pharaoh did. Is the same thing that is going on today. Let my people go. He is putting his people, God's chosen people, onto different kind of bondage, onto different kind of hardship. People of God, bear in mind as you are listening to this message, everyone that keeps covenant of God, that keep the laws of God, is a chosen person, is a child of God. But there is a particular nation that we would not deny. There is a particular nation that the Most High God chose. He has inheritance. This is his inheritance that I'm referring in today's lesson. So, like I said, the same thing happened before. See, the same thing happened today. Verse 2 says, If thou refuse to let them go, I will and will hold them still. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, upon the sheep. There shall be very grievous mourning. So the Lord saying to ancient Pharaoh, if you refuse to let my people go, there's going to be dangerous famine in your country upon everything. And the same thing is happening today. Let my people go, and they are still refusing. Verse 4 says, Then the Lord shall shiver between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. And the Lord appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. Verse 6, And the Lord did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died, but of the cattle of children of Israel died not one. So, the Lord made a difference during ancient Egypt between the cattle of the Egyptians and the cattle of the Igbos. That was what happened then. Verse 7. And Pharaoh said, And behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. Upon all that, the Lord showed Pharaoh wonder that there is a difference between the Egyptians and the Hebrews. But see, Pharaoh hadn't. So that's to show you the Lord's letting him know, I have my people, stop treating them bad. And Pharaoh refused to. Like I said, the same thing goes on today. My next reading is from book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 21, I will read verse 13. It said, whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. Here he said, whosoever stoppeth his ears from the cry of the poor, even when he cried, nobody will listen to him. This, when the Igbos, this has been going on for years, for centuries. But now the table is turning. Igbos were crying of just the same way they were doing in ancient Egypt, in the same way they are doing today. We are being killed in numbers. We knew what happened during Nigerian Civil War, where 5 million plus Igbos were butchered in a broad daylight. America was part of it. Britain was part of it. Russia, the whole world powers were part of it. Today, no one is accounted for. No one is held responsible for that genocide that happened. And today, no one is still being accountable for it. So that massacre that happened then is still going on. But today, the thing have turned to other countries within that nation, that the entity called Nigeria. Other people are now feeling the pain. And I know recently you must have heard of a Nigerian Christian genocide. It is now affecting other, let me call it nation, because Nigeria is nations inside a nation. They are all nations in that nation. So this now is affecting other tribes. They are now shouting and crying for help. That thing that Igbos has been screaming and shouting. And not only that, it's going to spread. You as well heard what Trump said in United Nations in September of this year, that the Western world, they are going to hell. It's not a joke. So that thing that Igbos have been crying and the whole world was adamant of it have now spread all over Nigeria. And it's going to spread, it's already spread all over the world. Just a matter of time. That those people that, just like what we read here in in Proverbs chapter 21, those that stop to hear the cry of the poor, when they will cry and nobody will hear them, it is now going to come to their doorstep. It's a pure judgment. It is a pure righteous judgment. Okay? But for you to escape it, what do you need to do? Keep the commandment of God. So, that was how it is, and that's how it will be. My next topic again is from Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, I'll be reading from verse 9. It says, the thing that had been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, it is new, it have been already of old time, which was before us? So he's saying here, that which is done, or that which will be done, is that which have been already. There's nothing new under the sun. Why? Redemption of the Hebrews. For you to understand what will happen and the redemption that will happen, You need to go and see what happened in ancient days. The same way it happened in ancient days is the same way it's going to happen. With that not being said again, let's go to book of Hosea. Hosea chapter 1, I will read verse 7. He said, "But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Lord their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, nor by horse, nor by horsemen." He said here, when I'm coming to save my people, it's not going to be by battle. It's not going to be by war. But I will save them as my God. He will save them according to his power, according to his might. So now, because why? We see the battle being drawn in that within the Igbos and other tribes within that entity. They think that it's going to be a war. No, it's not going to be a war. It's not going to be a war. It's going to be fight by the Most High God. So that brings us to our today's topic on what will befall Nigeria. Isaiah chapter 19, I'll be reading from verse 1. He said, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence." See, the name Egypt, it can mean suffering, bondage. But according to this context, it's referring to a nation. People may say Egypt. Not that geographical location named Egypt today is something that the Western world used to brainwash the masses. But on this term, Egypt is referring to Africa. But when you see Africa, when it's saying Africa in Egypt, you have to. That is the confusion. Those that were translating Bible, they did this too. When they are naming this place in Egypt, then this place Africa, then this, they cause a lot. That is to cause a lot of confusion. But if you put your simple ideology to it, you will understand and pinpoint exactly what it means. Because why? Let's start from Africa. Africa is made up of nations, and it's made up of kings or presidents. So how will it be referring to all the presidents at once? That is not possible. Now we go to where his people are. Where are they? They are in a nation within a nation. Then you break it down in this way. During the ancient Egypt, what happened? He said the Lord went to redeem his people in a nation inside a nation. Then we started there. A nation, his nation is inside a nation. Then we reverse his how we know where his people are. Then we go to that nation that they are. We started from there. That follows back to Nigeria. So I will start again from Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. "The burden of Egypt, the trouble of Nigeria. Behold, the Lord rideth upon swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idol of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. I will set Egyptian against Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom." Everyone will be fighting against each other. Who are those people? Just like we have the Hausas will be fighting against the Fulanis. The Fulanis will be fighting against the Yorubas. The Yorubas will be fighting against the Fulanis. This is something that is going to happen and will happen. Verse 3 says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to idols, and to charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. They be running hectare shelters. They be running from here to this church, to this house, to one to Jew house, to where. He said, where is their counselors? Those that give them instruction won't be able to save them. Verse 4 says, and the Egyptian will I give over to the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord God of hosts. He said, the Egyptians, the Nigerians, will I give over to a fierce king, and a very wicked king will rule over them. He said, this wicked king will rule over them. And a very fierce king. If this king is enthroned right now, everything about him is wicked. I don't know if he's enthroned as I'm speaking. But checking the event of things, how will someone impose taxes on a poor masses? People you don't provide nothing for. You still eat their natural resources. You're pocketing it. Their, fuel exemption levy. You stop it from them. You pocket the money. You take everything away from the poor masses and you impose tax on them. That is not the mindset of a gentle king or a president. But anyway, with that being said, that is going to be the mindset of that wicked king when he's in power. I will jump to verse 12. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath purposed upon Egypt. The prince of Zoan are become fools. The prince of Nerv are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are of the state of the tribe thereof. He said, we are they that give you counsel, like the British advisors, American advisors. He said, let them come and give you advice or give you counsel of what the Lord proposed to do upon this nation. He said, even that nation have been deceived, even they that are the state of the tribe thereof, even they that are the tribes of it, they all has been deceived. Verse 17 says, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. In that day shall five cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts, and shall be called city of destruction. Verse 19 says, in that day there shall be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. So, I will emphasize on verse 17. Verse 17, listen to what he said. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord of hosts, which he hath determined against it. That is to say, while other regions are going through trauma, while other regions are going through pain, land of Judah is going to be a terror to them. They will not be able to come into the land of the Judah, which is where the eastern region is going to be a terror to other part of Nigeria. This is what is good. But I'm not saying that it's going to, before it reach to this stage, Igbos are going to find it extremely difficult. They're going to go through pain to get to this stage. They're going to go through a lot of terror. But for us to really find out that this thing will happen, we have to go back again to what happened before. Because Bible say we get knowledge through where through I get not understanding through your precepts. Through I get understanding what happened previously. Now we go back to Exodus again, Exodus chapter 10, to find out what happened in ancient days. Were there a division between the Egyptians of old and the Hebrews? Let's go back to Exodus. Exodus chapter 10, I'll be reading from verse 1. It said, And the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart, and the heart of his servant, that I might show this my sign before him, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son, and of thy son's sons, what thing I have wrought in Egypt, and my sign which I have done among them, that you may know how that I am the Lord. That you may know that I am the Lord. See now, the Lord said to Moses, Go and do this thing to Pharaoh, that in time to come your son's sons will know what I have done to Pharaoh. And that thing that he did before is the thing that we, through what he had prophesied that will happen in future, then we fall back to what happened before. That there was a difference and there was a terror that the Lord did to the ancient Egypt. Now I will jump to verse 21. That is Exodus chapter 10. I'm now in verse 21. He said, And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thy hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. Verse 23. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. So, during this time, in ancient Egypt, there was darkness to the Egyptians. But where the Hebrews were, there was light. There was difference. The Lord put up a difference between himself and the Egyptian, between his inheritance and the Egyptian. The same thing we have read earlier on, what will happen in the future. That when this king is in power, when the Lord will show sign that between his own people and the rest of Nigeria and the rest of the world, this is something that will happen, and this is something that must happen. Bible says in Isaiah that all the mighty men will come and say, Oh, there is a true God is in thee. A true God is in you. That is to the Igbos. When these wonders will begin to happen. But I mean, people may say, oh, the whole people of God is scattered everywhere. We like just people are saying today, wherever they see a black man, they say it's a tribe of Bantu, tribe of this, all that, and people have been saying lately without biblical proofs. To confirm what we have read earlier on again, let's go to 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel chapter 7. I will read verse 23. He said, And what one nation in the earth is like thy people? What one nation, bear that in mind, is like thy people, even like Israel, whom God went to redeem for a people to himself, and to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods. Let's read this carefully and blindly. He said, verse 23 again, 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 23. And what one nation in the earth, what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel, whom God went to redeem for a people to himself. This is future prophecy. And to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their God, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt. Because his people are scattered all over the world, then from the nation. But the first redemption is coming from, he say, Egypt. What's which location in Egypt? Like I said, is in Nigeria. You go again in Zephaniah. I think Zephaniah chapter 10, verse 3, or chapter 3, verse 10, thereabout. He said, beyond the rivers of Ethiopia shall my disperse be gathered. Beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, that still fall back again towards the Niger River, that will land in land of the Igbos, straight on in there, where at the end of Atlantic Ocean. That is where the majority of his people are. And people say this is in Ghana. Yes, his people are in Ghana, but what are they doing in Ghana? They are not. They are just minorities in Ghana. His people are in Cameroon. Yes, southern Cameroon are part of the Igbos or part of the Igbo tribes. His people are in Guinea. His people are in America, in Australia, in Jamaica, in Barbados. But these are, he cannot, okay, take it for instance. Someone that is from, maybe, let me say, Ashanti tribe. They are living in Ghana. They are indigenous to their land. They are indigenous. So, as somebody from Hindu is indigenous to Hindu. The Lord said, one tribe, one nation. Let's not stop confusing this. What we read in Bibles is what it is. All this scatter of a thing. Igbo tribes that went to Atlantic slavery, they are not indigenous. If they are, we are sold to Jamaica or Barbados or America or Canada or Britain. They are upfruit of the Igbos in whichever they are. That is what he meant by scatter. The ones that went through Nigerian Civil War or Biafran Civil War. Because during that war, every nation on earth from Norway, Denmark, people that were children that were malnourished, every nation were coming to take them and keeping them. That was what happened then. That is scatter. People that migrated out due to hardship that Nigerian government imposed in the land till today. Like me, as I'm here, I'm not in the land. I left because of the malnutrition, because of hard treatment the Nigerian government imposed in the land. I migrated out. Therefore, it is called scattered. Every kind of hardship, those that migrated out of their own will, the way they are spread all over the world, that is what Bible meant by scatter. Those indigenous to the land that left through one way or the other. That is what Bible meant by scatter, not what people are saying when they see an indigenous American staying in their land and I say, no, because you are here now, you are not. Please, let's not confuse what Bible say. You have to know what is a tribe and who are those that are connected to the tribe. Another example again, let's go to book of Numbers. Numbers chapter 23. I'll be reading from verse 7. It said, he took up this parable and said, Balak, the king of Moab, had brought me from Aram out of the mountain of the east, saying, come, curse me Jacob, and defile Israel. This is Balak, was telling Balaam to curse Israel. Verse 8. How shall I curse whom God had not cursed? Or how shall I defy whom the Lord had not defied? For from the top of the rock I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. He said, I'm not going to curse who God have not cursed, or defy who God have not defied. He said, the people shall be alone. They shall not be reckoned among the nations. They shall not be counted among the nations. Just for instance, my fellow Igbos are saying they will have a nation called Biafra under United Nations. Bible is letting us know that that is not going to happen. Igbos will not be counted among the nations of the United Kingdom, or United Nations, I'm sorry. They're going to be a separate nation that will rule during the time of Christ. That is how it is, and that is how it will be. I don't know how I'm going to explain it further than this, because if you are a fellow Igbo, you already know that we have demonstrated there's no sign of help coming. We have been killed randomly. There's no sign of help coming. Not only that, our own fellow Igbo man is put in prison for doing what? Asking questions. The whole world. Britain. He's a Britain citizen, adopted with British passport. Not in Kenya, adopted, holding a British passport. Holding a British passport. Think of that. And British say nothing. And he is being incarcerated in prison. Britain still say nothing. That show you, just like what we are reading here, that Biafra, that young man is asking for, will not be reckoned among the nation. It's not going to happen. The more you believe the scripture and let the truth sink into your brain, so you will understand more. It will help you live in peace. Another example, let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 31, I'll be reading from verse 1. Because we say that this nation will not be reckoned or counted among the nations. Jeremiah chapter 31 from verse 1 says, at the same time, said the Lord, I will be God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. The Lord said, I will be God among the families. They will not be counted among the nations. The Lord said, this is going to be my own. Verse 2 says, thus said the Lord, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, whom I went to cause to rest. The Lord said, the people that when I'm coming to take them up, he said, the people which escape of the sword. Which sword? Which escape of the wars. War. Today we are hearing wars and rumors of war. It will happen. They are calling it third war. It will happen. Every nation is ready with missiles, ready for nuclear destruction. Bible call it a time which mankind have never seen. Nuclear war is going to happen, and it's going to happen at any moment. Then said people that found, they said his people found grace in the wilderness. How did his people find one? Where is that wilderness, and what will happen in that wilderness? Let's go to Ezekiel. These are prophecies that will happen that has not yet happened. All this that we read on these lessons. Talking of that wilderness and his nation again, let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 20, I'll be reading from verse 32. He said, and that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that you say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to save wood and stone. The God is saying to his people, that thing that you people are thinking, that you will be like other nations, He said it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. This is what the Lord said to his people. That what? His nation will not be counted among the nations. This is the pure truth. Verse 33 says, As I live, said the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand, and with stretched out arm, and with verse 33 says, surely with a mighty hand, and with stretched out arm, and with full report out, will I rule over you. Then he said, I'm going to rule over you. When all this war, all these problems start to happen, verse 34 says, and I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with stretched out arm, and with full report out, that is in time of trouble. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and they will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, said the Lord. I will cause you to pass under the rod, and will bring you into the bond of the covenant. And I will purge out from among you the rebels, and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Egypt, and you shall know that I am the Lord. From what he's saying here, it's the same thing that happened of old time when he gathered his people. Remember, all of them died. In a day, almost 23,000 people were being killed. The same thing will happen again when he will gather his people. The same way it happened during the time of Moses. It's the same way it will happen again. He said, I will plead with them face to face, just the same way I pleaded with Moses, and I will do it again. The same thing he did in time of Moses. He gathered them, he told them, this is my covenant, this is my this. The same way he will do it again and gather his people and he tell them, this is my covenant, do it this way. He said those that rebel, and people will still rebel against him during that time. And those he said, they will be purged out, and they will not enter into the land of Egypt, into the land of Israel. So in the rebel, he said the Lord will judge his people. He will gather them and judge them in the border of Israel. In the border of Israel. He will take them into the land Christ. Those that survive is them that Christ will rescue and take in the land. Just the same way it happened before, is the same way it will happen again. So people of God, with that not being said, I will end it for now. Until next time, when we will embark on the next topic. Happy Sabbath.